Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming tonight. We've got quite a lot to get through this evening. So what we're going to do is we've got sort of three kind of main sections that we're going to run through. And obviously what we'll try and do is, if it's okay with everyone, if we hold the sort of questions and answers until the end of those sort of two sections, that would be great. Just helps us sort of try to get through with the amount of slides and discussions that we have to tonight. So what we're going to do is basically going to run through initially a bit more about the stadium build, where it's at the moment in terms of construction and some of the changes that have been happening there. And we've got our stadium contractors, Buckingham here, represented by Andy McIntosh. He's going to run through a bit more credentials about them as a contractor, but also a bit more about the build project. We're then also going to hear from KSS, our stadium designers. We've got Nick and Charlotte from KSS who are going to take you through a bit more of the sort of exciting drawings of what the stadium looks like at the moment and some of the interesting design changes that we've had. After that, we will have a question and answer session. And then we will have an update more generally about the progress of the stadium and some of the reasons why we're here tonight around the funding, which is going to be presented by Mark as chairman of the stadium committee. And then that will roll into a presentation from Seedrs, who are our partners for the crowdfunding. We've got Josh and Alex here, and they will take you through a bit more about the detail of what crowdfunding is, how it works, and how you can participate, and then we will do a question and answer after that point. So I will at this point hand over to Andy from Buckingham's.
Hi, good evening everybody. Obviously I'm the guy on site, so project director, but what we wanted to do was just really, I've seen the pictures on the website, you've probably seen them yourselves, and just to explain sort of what we've been doing really on site and explain it. But just a bit about the company. We're in the top 20 in the UK in terms of size, so around about 750 million turnover a year. And about a third of that's made up from stadium build. So, we're probably seen now as the UK's leading stadium contractor. Recent projects, Spurs, we didn't do all of it, but we got called in to do the complicated part, which was the roof and the sky bridge. Amex Stadium, you'll hear about in a bit, from which is the Brighton and Hove Albion Stadium. Some current projects, you may have seen Brentford as you drive around, that's one of our jobs. Just recently won Fulham at Craven Cottage and a small job at Man United. And we're talking to Brighton as well about an extension to their jobs, that's like a repeat business. Established supply chain for Stadia, obviously, but we think that adds a lot of value in terms of quality, and our subcontractors know what they're doing. And in terms of our team, Dave, the project manager, are involved in Spurs. Design manager's been involved in all of the recent jobs that we've done. So we've got a very experienced team in terms of Stadia. So in terms of on site, so just some pictures really. So just really get across how bad the ground is. So roughly there's about a metre of made ground, and below that you've got gravel, groundwater that goes down to about 18 metres. So it's it's similar ground to what you find around here, but it is particularly bad ground. And one of the things that we looked to do in terms of cost savings was to, rather than cart all the bad muck away, if you like, we've done what's called lime and cement stabilising, which basically we put about a metre back 2% lime and cement, rolled it into layers, and what that's actually allowing us to do is have a hard platform to run on across the site, and it future-proofs the job in terms of when permanent stands are eventually built around the site. But it's been obviously very successful in terms of the weather that we've had, and you can actually see the outline. This is a recent one, but you see the sort of pitch outline now starting to be formed. And the guys have done very well. We've got a great big pile of earth now to remove and take off site, and then concentrate on pulling the west stand across. But we're very pleased with the way that's gone. And just a bit of a brief explanation of what we're trying to hopefully achieve in terms of piling, so we've got 600 mil diameter pile, so in old money that's sort of 2 foot diameter, about 22 metres deep. And what we're doing in order to try and do it as quick as we can is we've got 2 big piling rigs, so you can see one starting from grid line 15 working that way, and one from the far end working that way. And obviously given the depth, but we're looking at sort of 10 piles a day with the 2 rigs to do it as quick as we can in roughly about 5 weeks. So that's, you should see that through July happening on site. And then the next one really is the foundations, and just to probably get across that these are about sort of 4 metres along, so there's a lot of concrete to go in there, and as you can imagine with a 3-storey stadium building, there's a lot of forces and loadings that actually go to form that canopy of the roof. So we've got around about 400 piles to put in. And then in terms of steel frame, again, lots of steel members. There's over 2,000 members to do, and a similar themes adopted with 2 erection crews with 2 cranes, pulling that across, which we think that'll be around about September. So that was just an update on where we're at. I'm going to hand over to Nick and Charlotte really to go through the design, and obviously if there's anything that I need to pick up on, I will do.